me here. Me nah bust it for you yet, man. Another day, the hustle continues at the Winter Olympics in Beijing, China. The competition already white hot, not red hot, because we're talking about the ice, already white hot. And we've seen some athletes who won gold early in the competition, doubling up. And I'm looking at you, Irina Schouten. She landed the 3,000 meters gold early, and she has doubled up with the 5,000 meters in another Olympic record-breaking performance. But more about her later. The lady to start with on today's edition of Winter Prime, the evening edition, is the talented Audra Segre, who is with me on the set. I keep saying to you, Audra, I have to be rewiring my brain because you know how men are treating ladies with respect. I'm tempted to say the lovely Audra Segre, but there are people who are watching who say, George, that's sexist. So why are you focusing on her physical attributes? What about her quality? So I'm emphasizing your quality, that you are a talented young lady, and that to me you're also lovely as well. But lovely is secondary to you being talented.
Okay,
you see what men have to go through these days, Audra? Poor me, right? Also with us is the gentleman across the Caribbean Sea. His name is Anil Roberts. He's an opposition senator in Trinidad and Tobago and an analyst par excellence of many things. Anil, there is a word I wanted to use to describe you when it comes to technology and such. I wanted to give it to you before the show started, but you weren't hearing me at the time. So I'm going to give it to you on air now, Anil. That word is, I think you are a Luddite.
I am, definitely. I don't know anything about technology. I leave the technology for the technicians, and I just deal with the performance.
Excellent, my friend. Excellent, excellent. Audra, let me start with you because we've seen the practice runs of everybody related to the Caribbean, well, from the English-speaking Caribbean at least, who are competing. We've seen Jasmine Fenlator-Victorian in the women's monobob. We've seen the two A's from Trinidad and Tobago, Axel and Andre. And we've seen the two Jamaicans, Sherwin and Nimroy, on the ice. Let's start with Jasmine first. Her run, what did you make of it from a technical perspective or anything else you saw?
Well, when I look at the times, I was a bit concerned because going into a race, she's 1 day shy of training. I was looking more for cleaner runs and faster times, which I didn't see. So, I reach out. Someone in the team asks, what's going on? Is something up? But they say they're having some sled issue. Maybe they didn't go into details, but I'm assuming maybe it's like our steering because that had been an issue during the season. New sled, trying to get the feel of it, trying to understand more of it. So I'm saying, okay, that was the issue. Hoping going into the last training session, they will fix it. So she can get that confidence going into the races.
So you say you reached out, but you didn't get to speak to her directly,
no,
but someone close to in the camp.
In the camp, yes.
And when you say steering, just break down for the benefit of our viewers who are not the profession like yourself. What do you mean when you say steering of the sled?
Okay, so bobsled is not as steering as car steering. It's a pull and pull. Pull and tug, I should say. So maybe something that should be tightened in the front to keep the steering, as if you want to go on a turn, if you steer right, it will stay right and not like a hard pull or hard tug. Something may be wrong with that. So maybe she's trying to, and it's not working, it's not going, so she's having issues on the track.
And just to be precise, because again we're talking about precision instruments, these sleds, that you're saying that it only takes something to be a little bit off for there to be an issue that results and translates into slow times.
Yes, and that's why I always mention material. You have to stay on top of your material. You have to stay on top of everything. You have to check this, the screws, make sure everything is prim and prop, because just a loose screw, and that's it.
And of course, so I'm channeling the viewers now to say, okay, George, ask her how difficult that is to solve, any technical issue like that, and how likely is it that it can be corrected in time for the next run to put her into competition with confidence that the machine is ready to do its part.
So I basically have a rule. you have to consult a jury before you can touch the sled.
Oh.
So they have to give you the go ahead to touch the sled. Or like they will check, like you will tell them the issue.
Mhm.
They will check to see, okay, it's serious, because safety is first.
Yes,
Regardless, safety
sure.
is first. So they're gonna check and said, okay, it's an issue. Let's check it, and they will watch you
Mhm.
because cheating and
Yes,
all.
yes.
So yes, so hopefully that's what I'm saying. Hopefully she get it right tomorrow, which is
Yes.
their last training session, so that she doesn't have to deal with that in the race, because it's gonna play on your mental state. It will, because it's championship,
Yes.
championship pressure, everything. You can fight it. The
Yes.
pressure is gonna be
Yes.
there. So I'm hoping that she sorted.
And a little more on the process, and bear with me because I'm asking you the questions
Yes,
that the
no
viewers would. Yeah. So you say that she has to get clearance to check the sled.
Yes.
So is it that a technical expert will assist with fixing if she gets to go ahead to fix, or is it that she herself will have to do it with some official standing over her shoulder to ensure that she's not doing anything to get an unfair advantage? How it work? How does it work?
I think it all depends. If it's like runners,
Mhm.
her alone. Her.
And the runners are
Yes.
what we call the
What
blades.
yeah,
yes.
what we call the blades. The
Yes.
runners, her alone.
Mhm.
If something is technical inside, they might allow her
Yeah.
and one person
Mhm.
to
From
work on
the
sled.
Jamaican camp.
From the Jamaican camp
Mhm.
to work. Good. The good thing is that we have someone that works on sled, like knows sleds ins and out.
Yes.
So we don't have to panic.
Yes.
Like we don't have anyone, but we do have, which is good. So any issue, I know he will fix it.
All
for
right.
sure.
So here's the other question then. What if they say, no, we don't deem the problem serious enough for any adjustments to be made?
Yeah.
You spoke about the what that can do to you mentally. So if
Yeah.
you know that, darn, there's something to be fixed, they're not allowing me to fix it, but I have to go with the sled all the same. That puts you in a position where you're working with a machine that you know can't give you what you want.
Yes.
And it's almost as if you're going into the competition half-hearted, like, oh my gosh, here I go.
Yeah. And Jazz is. Oh, she has OCD. So it's gonna be on her mind, and it's not gonna go. But I see where in the season we had a push bar issue. The push bar would stay up.
Yeah.
You know what Jazz did? She just hold on the side of the sled, and we just push because we are used to getting ups and downs.
Yes.
And we try not to let it hamper us. Like if we're in that moment,
Yes.
we can't just panic. We just okay, we're gonna deal with it now.
Yes.
On the spot.
Yes.
And that was her dealing with it.
Yes.
And I'm ready, let's go. We
Yes.
just push
Yes.
and deal with it. So she might have that mental state, but it's a championship.
When you have lime and lemons, you make lemonade or you make an antiseptic. Here's the thing now, Audra.
Yeah.
So based on the time she produced with what looked to your eyes and what
Yeah.
you confirmed in speaking to someone in the camp to be a sled that something was technically not altogether right with.
Yeah.
If the sled is working okay, is working fine,
Yes.
and she gets a nice run,
Yes.
how much faster do you think she would have been relative to the time she posted in her run?
She was 106.
Yes.
I'm looking for 105.
Mm.
I'm looking
So we're
for
talking fractions, but those
Yeah.
fractions make a huge difference.
It does.
Yes.
Like 100 of a second
Yes.
is a big deal in bobsled.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to go like 100 of a second faster.
Yes.
Something like that. Because she wasn't really off the pace, but that's not Jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Anil Roberts, I come to you. The two TNT ambassadors who took to the ice in their practice runs, run the rule over what they produced for me.
Well, I was quite happy to see that they work together well. I mean, any run that we get down, you have to remember that our team is well behind the 8 ball. They only got together 3 months after the time limits to get the practice runs in last year and to get into the Beijing arena. So once they can get some runs under them and finish flawlessly, we will worry about speed at the right time. We're looking to get a feel for the course, feel for the runners. Remember, this is a brand new team and they're building towards the next Olympics. So there's a lot of work to be done. You have to have a chemistry that has to be created every run that you get. When you saw the two brothers who won the luge from Germany, the amount of runs that they would have taken together over the last 10 or 12 years, you can't beat experience, as you said. So I was happy that we got the 2 runs in. I'm not looking at the time. I try my best. Normally I'm always with a stopwatch, taking splits at every section, the upper section, the mid section, the speed, what top speed we hit. I was not reaching there yet. I just want to see some practice runs, get some experience in, get the flag to the finish line.
Yeah, most events that you do, most things you do, you want to repeat to get the hang of it. Unlike poetry, as a lad, when I was forced to recite poems in preparation for a competition, the more I recited, the more I practiced, the more I hated the poem. And yeah, but the bobsledders need runs and runs and runs and runs and runs to get things right. We take a break, back with more here on Winter Prime, the evening edition. The controversy around the woman on screen is threatening to throw an early pall of perhaps gloom over these Winter Olympic Games. The brilliant Kamila Valieva, the subject of a doping scandal, because reports in several credible news outlets suggest that she has tested positive for a banned substance, and that the punishment may see the team committee competing under the banner of the Russian Olympic Committee banned from the medal ceremony for the team figure skating event, kicked out of the Olympics, and worst, no official confirmation yet from the IOC, but the coup was flown when an official from Russia's foreign ministry tweeted her support for Kamila Valieva, which confirmed to many people that the brilliant 15-year-old was the athlete caught in this doping storm. I welcome you back to Winter Prime, the evening edition, where we will talk about this doping controversy. Chris Taylor joins me on set, replacing Audrey Segre, and Annie Roberts remains out there in Trinidad and Tobago, over there in our sister country. Chris, this is devastating news. It is bad for the Olympics. It will be worse for the team competing under the ROC banner, and even worse for young Valieva.
Yeah, and considering the fact that Valieva has been in the headlines so much within the last couple of days, her performances, as I said, young at 15 years of age. She has had the full support of the Russian committee, though. From her Olympic committee, nothing has been said. The argument is that it is a lot of talk and not a lot of truth to it. It would be very unfortunate. There was somebody who also tweeted or said something within the media that actually it was somebody who was underage who had tested positive, and the checks are that she's the only underage person on the team. So that was a bit of a giveaway as well. The talks are that, it had something to do with, the drug that was taken was because of an angina issue, as you know, heart issues and so on. But yes, very unfortunate. We know how Anil feels about the drug scenario. But as you said, not the kind of thing that you want to see at the Olympics, but something that is always seen at the Olympics.
Yeah, and then let me come to you and put the argument to you this way. The drug rumored to be at the center of this controversy is trimetazidine. It is a drug that relaxes the heart. As Chris said, it's used to treat angina. But they say in performance, in competition, it relaxes the heart and translates into helping the athlete who takes it to have greater stores of endurance relative to other athletes. And for those who are wondering if it has been taken by anybody of note before, yes, the Chinese swimmer Sun Yang was found to have used it and was banned from competition for about 3 months. Senator Roberts, the jury is yours.
Well, let me just put it this way. This is what is sad about sport. Just a few days ago, all of us who love sport are just so excited about the brilliance, the technical ability, the genetic ability, the dance, the drama, the discipline of young Valieva. And then this question, and once you have these questions, and then as you said, the drug that gives you an ability to train harder, to recover more, to be able to do 3 quads in a row, to be able to perform and do magnificent amounts of training. Remember, this drug, Sun Yang, is the biggest disgrace in swimming in recent times. And he not only tested positive, then he had a blow up and broke vials of blood when you're out of competition testing. As I told you, out of competition testing, if you want clean sport, the only way to do it is out of competition testing. They should take all in competition testing out. It's a waste of time. And it's out of competition. I don't know what happened. I don't know. She's 15. She may not even have a clue what she took. We have to find out, does she have a heart condition? Was she born with a congenital heart condition? Who were the coaches? Who prescribed it? Who gave it? But it is a drug that is used for cheating. It is a drug that if you take it, you can get an advantage over the others. There is not enough information for me to come down on a decisive conclusion, but what I can tell you, it is another sad day. And this drug cheating, this scourge, it doesn't allow for fans like myself to enjoy brilliance. We want to be able to enjoy the brilliance of hard work, discipline, great coaching, competitive ability, mental fortitude. But you never know, because we all loved Lance Armstrong at one time. And now, when you find out the truth, you feel like he kicked you in your gut and beat you down, like you went down in the ghetto in Spanish Town at the wrong time. It's horrendous. I'm saddened. I'm waiting to hear the truth, but you can feel the pain.
Yeah, Chris, they say that trimetazidine, what it does specifically, as I mentioned the endurance aspect, but they say that you know how figure skating is judged. Right. You get more points at the back end of your program because that's when you are fatigued. And if you can do great things on the back end of your program fatigued, you get extra marks. So it's marked differently from the front end. Clearly, if you take this drug, then at the back end, when others are fatigued and the legs are heavy, you are as fresh as when you started. And they say this is the distinct advantage that someone gets from using that kind of drug in this kind of competition. That is highly disappointing. And if what we saw, Chris, was not the raw talent of a prodigiously gifted 15-year-old, then, man, I can understand some people being turned off sport.
It's a heavy grey cloud, and I agree with both yourself and Anil in terms of, you know, what this means to the Olympics. We can only hope that, as you saw a couple of days ago, there was a story that came out as well about a possible drug scenario. And, you know, you just hope that these stories are inaccurate and that it's not that. What I will say is that the skills that Valieva has, the drugs could not have enhanced the skills. But I agree that certainly from an endurance perspective and being able to do things for a longer period, as you said, at the back end. But those skills that she has mastered in terms of the quads or the multiple turns and so on is something that drug can't enhance. That drug you can't, even if you take away the drug, you can't take away those skills. And those are skills that she obviously is just naturally gifted. And it's still brilliant to see. But as I said, this is certainly a big grey cloud for the Olympics, for her, 15 years of age.
Yeah.
Not the kind of story you want to be coming out, and we just hope that it's, as you said, inaccurate.
Yeah, and we have to give the viewers a little bit more information, Anil Roberts. The fact is that the fact of her being a minor could prove to be significant. Because according to the IOC's rules, if you are 16 and above, then the harshness of penalties imposed on you for flouting drugs regulations, well, those penalties are more harsh than if you are under 16. And people are looking at the possible punishment and the decisions that will inform the kind of punishment that she and the Russian team may be faced with. And as a minor, she will be treated as a protected athlete. And so the punishment, the scale of the punishment will be, if indeed it is her, will be less severe than if it was an athlete 16 and over who committed an infraction.
Rightfully so, because she's not an adult and she's not making decisions on her own. And when you want to move towards strict liability, about 11 years ago, we were going down a good road of strict liability, where whatever was found in your system, no matter how it got in there, you had to take responsibility for it as an adult. But since then, we've had some very weak rulings by the CAS. They've started to say and make examples of people who took a supplement that may have been tainted, and they've weakened down the principle of strict liability. In this case, she's 15. The strict liability rules should not apply. She's a junior, and some other people will be in control of her. So if there was anything untoward, the coaches, the managers should get the stiff bands, and she should be allowed the softer bands because of her age. But let me also agree with Chris, and that's why it's so depressing. The skills and the technical ability of the sport that she is taking part in does not require cheating. The benefits, the extra sport points you get at the end of a 4-minute program or whatever, they do that. They can't teach you the artistic grace, the beauty, the dance, the maneuvers, the spin, the control. That is technical ability that drugs don't help. So this looked like some idiot was cheating for no reason with a young lady who did not need it, because she's blowing out everybody by 40 points. So even if she got more tired and didn't get those little extra points at the end, she will still win by 16 points.
Yeah,
Totally
and to close this conversation, to put it into context, by herself, Valieva contributed 20 points to the Russian tally. If you remove those 20 points, they'd fall below bronze medal level. So there would be no medal for them to collect if you deduct what she contributed to the event.
Just before we move on, Josh, I don't know if it's a good sign, but she has been practicing because she has an individual event to come.
Yes.
She has been training, she has been practicing. Her facial expressions don't show one that she's under stress. So we can only hope that it is a sign that maybe she's going to continue and maybe bad things are not to come of it.
Yeah, well, continue with me then, Chris, because we're going to switch now to talk about Nathan Chen, because the Americans have another individual gold medal at these games. Remember yesterday we spoke about Jacob Ellis and her own route to redemption and winning an individual gold medal for the USA, putting them on the gold medal board. Well, Chen did something special for himself and for them today. Right, so I thought that oh, here he is. Yeah, I was waiting for this chap to come up. Talk to me about this chap now, the men's figure skating, and Chen coming up trumps here, Chris.
No, excellent performance, and he participated in the team as well. In fact, he's one of those persons who will benefit if the Russians are disqualified from the team event. So something more for Chen, maybe, as you said. But yes, a gold medal in figure skating, something rare for the United States, very rare. I think it's only the 7th time, and it's been going on since 1908. So it's a big deal for Chen. The son of Chinese immigrants, born in the U.S., though, born in Utah. And it's great. I mean, his technical ability, his finesse in terms of his stuff, really excellent for him to be able to lift this gold medal, and as I say, a rare feat for the country.
Yeah, after the break, Adil, you'll get a crack at talking about Irina Shoughton and what she did again, killing them softly in the 5,000 meters. Back with more here on Beijing Prime, the winter edition. Beijing Prime, the evening edition. Almost said the winter edition, which would have been correct as well.
Accurate.
Winter Prime, the Beijing edition. Winter Prime, the evening edition. It all adds up to a break here on the show. The Alpine Combined event is an event like no other. They say this event is generational, meaning that it runs in the family. Father does it, mother does it, daughter and son will come and do it. But no father-son duo have quite done it like the Strolls, and Johannes winning gold in the event 34 years after his father Hubert did the very same thing in the very same event at the Calgary Games in 1988.
To me, obviously, because I was not on the team anymore last summer and made it back into the team, got the full support again. And especially with the history of my father, it means so much to me, and I'm so thankful for the support of so many people. And first of all, I have to thank my whole family. They always believed in me, and now it's a dream coming true, making the same gold medal like my father did.
Anil Roberts, unheralded Johannes Strolls was heading into these Olympic Games. As he said, not on the team up to a month ago, was jobbing as a traffic policeman in Austria to make ends meet. But he comes to the Olympics and he finds something, a run that the other competitors couldn't find, and he completes a fairy tale daddy-son story by striking gold 34 years after his father did in the same event at the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, you so well at the end, you went down low. But what I could say is it's shocking that he was not on the Olympic team up to a month ago. As a coach, I can't understand or fathom that. You either, at this level of talent, you must know that this man is good. How could the authorities or the team selectors not have him on the team a month ago, and then he comes on the slalom and combination, the alpine, to win gold so flawlessly? You know he has pedigree. His dad won in 1988. That's another amazing feat that we can be proud of. But it also shows genetics. When you're looking for talent, to identify talent in different sports, you have to look at the genetic code, the genetic makeup of your athletes. And you can see it here that this gentleman was ready for gold. He had the calm. Maybe it worked in reverse. Sometimes when you are preparing for the Olympics and you dream every day and you look at what you have written up above your board in your bedroom, probably you put too much pressure on yourself. When you don't expect to be there and then you're in there, you kind of ski with a freedom that brings gold. It was just amazing. What a lovely story and excellent. Congratulations to Austria, as they have a great history of slalom, downhill, fast skiing. I might even say, like, to be a goalkeeper, you have to be a little crazy. To do slalom, alpine, combine, I think you have to be at least one screw loose.
Yeah, perhaps stark raving mad. Chris Taylor, I say to you that the fact of this gold medal is absolutely fantastic. I want to transition from this event though and talk about this. If you, Chris Taylor, wanted someone to feel the thrill of winning a bet at the Winter Games, I'm certain you'd have recommended that they bet on the German relay team to win gold in the luge relay.
Well, I'm wondering why they change the name of the event from luge to the German, because Germany wins everything in this event. As you said, they win the individual stuff, they win the doubles, they have won the mixed as well. You think about a mixed team, the two Tobias twins, as well as Ludwig and Geisenberger, two persons who are triple gold medalists in the event, both in the singles and in the doubles as well. I mean, this has been happening since 2014. The Germans have swept it. They have swept it every year of the Olympics, and nothing has changed. It was always going to be them. I mean, when you see a team lined up with those names, Geisenberger, Ludwig, and the Tobias twins, how could it go any different? A sergeant and a police officer, and sandwiched between them 6 individual gold medals.
It's the recipe for gold. Do we transition to Schouten now? And I'm coming to you. Anil Roberts, I hope you're hearing me. Irina Schouten, she rocked them to sleep in another Olympic record, this time in the 5,000 meters.
Well, dominance is dominance. Greatness is greatness. This is what you call superiority bar none. She won the doubles. On Saturday, she won the 3,000. She comes to the 5,000 and she wins by 4.67 seconds at an average speed of 55 kilometers per hour. Do you know how much licking that is? That's like finger licking good. That means that by the time she finished, she was some 30 meters clear of the silver medalist. This is unbelievable. She broke an Olympic record by 3.4 seconds. I mean, I don't know if people understand how much that is smashing an Olympic record that stood for 20 years. To break that by 3.4 full seconds is unbelievable. It's like running a 400 meters on the track in 41 seconds and smashing a record. That's how brilliant this woman is. She's incredible. And she beat the silver medalist, was Wiedemann from Canada. And she came in 4.6 seconds behind her. And bronze went to the Czech Republic. But this is totally brilliant. As a coach, you couldn't get it any better. If there was another race, when it was 6,000 or in between 4,000, she would win. She may win if they went up to 10,000. It's amazing.
Yeah, Chris Taylor, one of the things every athlete wants to do, especially an athlete with serious medal prospects, is to arrive at the Olympics in their best shape. They want to be in the pink of form as well at the Olympics. Two different things. Your physical shape and your form, two different things, but every athlete wants to be at the top of both categories. It's safe to assume that Irina Shoughton is in the pink of form and physically she is at her finest.
Oh yes, she was chiseled in all ways. And I mean, even listening to her interview, she said that the 3,000, and we saw it in her statistics, the 3,000 was a big challenge for her. It was an event that she hadn't fully dominated throughout her career. The 5,000, European Championships, World Championships, total domination. She said in her interview, and the interviewer said, well, the 5,000 was already goal for you, and she said yes. She already had the goal. It was just to do the event. So she could do this in her sleep. And she showed that. As Anil said, 4.67 seconds. It was a cakewalk.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, gentlemen, that's how we have to end it this evening. Thank you very much, Anil Roberts, over there in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you to Audrey Agree, who was with me for the opening segment. And thanks to Chris Taylor, who came in, of course, and in the second half to analyze the top performances we've seen on the day. We'll watch that Valieva controversy develop for you and report the latest news as it comes out of Beijing. This has been Winter Prime, the evening edition.